Hi, welcome to Supercharge Fridays, the first Supercharge Fridays of 2023. I hope everything is going well. I hope you've had a good first week of the year. How's it going? If you are watching live, comment in the comments and say hello so I can say hello back. And if you are watching in the replay, say hi anyway. It's good to know that you were around, and don't step out without saying hi. It's kind of rude, right? So let's dive in because I'm doing this one which is ask me anything type of open office hours. And next week, if you're around, join me. I'm going to have the lovely Jihan. We call her G for short. She is going to join us live from Texas. It's going to be 7 in the morning for her. And we're going to talk about strengths. And if you've ever done a strength test, like those top 5 strengths, we're going to decipher what that means, because taking the test is one thing, but what it actually means is something different. So we're going to get into that. So yeah, how's it going? I've got a couple of questions. I'm excited to get into them. I've got some opinions, I've got some perspectives, so happy to share. How's it going? Hi Shivam, that's a good question, Shivam. I'm going to get into it. Hey Risto, lovely to see you. I hope it's not too crazy in Finland with the snow, and hope you're enjoying your sauna as well. Also, please give me a thumbs up if you're watching me, and things are working. The video's all right, the audio's all right. Just, quick sort of check. Thank you for tuning in. Hi, guys. Lovely to see you. So, yeah, I'm going to get right into it. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get into Shivam's question, because I think, Shivam, you were the first. So, yeah, let's dive right in. All right, fantastic. Thank you. Good day to you as well. Now, let us see. How do you get into investment banking? Okay, Shivam, um, it's a big question. Where do I start? First of all, you want to write this somewhere, okay? Just write it, like paper and pen. Just write it somewhere. I want to be an investment banker. Okay, just write it down. It's like you're putting an intention out. It's out. Next, it's worth asking yourself why. Why do you want to be an investment banker? And be very clear on it. There's no right or wrong answer here. Is it because your friend is an investment banker? Is it because you've seen a movie? Is it because you read a book? Write down. Is it because you think they earn good money? Whatever it is, just write it down. Okay. That's the second. The third thing you want to do is you want to look around you, because I'm guessing you're younger than I am. Because when I was younger and I wanted to do something, I did not have a phone at my fingertips that would just, it would be a computer, right? I barely had like a primitive version of Google. So you have a lot more information. You've got LinkedIn, okay? So see in your network, see in your friend circle, see in your friends' parents' circles who are investment bankers today. What is it like to be them? What is it like to be in their shoes? Ask for an informational interview. It costs nothing. It's 20 minutes of their time. You're not asking for a job. And I would say do this several times, because you really want to be sure that you want to do this. Because the last thing you want is you decide you want to do it and be stubborn about it and go really fast and get the job. Somehow you get it and it turns out you don't like it. Okay, it's not nice. There's nothing wrong with experimenting, but I would prefer that the experimentation happens as early as possible and as quickly as possible. So you look around, there could be people in your network, there could be people who are not in your network, but you're following them on LinkedIn. There could be potential mentors of yours. What are they reading? What do they like to talk about? Follow their things. Like if you see that and it's interesting to you, learn a few courses, skills, get a little bit more information on it. Ask for opportunities where you can show some of those skills that you've learned in courses. And then you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from some sort of experience. So I hope that helps. There's a lot more behind this. But I would start this way, as opposed to just saying, what are the jobs in investment banking? I'm going to apply. No, you want to understand why. And when you do understand why, you want to tailor your resume and showcase some of the transferable skills that you have that would benefit um, an investment bank. So, all right, good. I hope this is helpful. How's everybody doing? Happy New Year. This is the first Supercharge Fridays of the new year. Can you believe it? It's going to be 3 years. I think next week it's going to be 3 years. So, absolutely, like time flies, honestly. I had a question that I received, which was very interesting from someone. I'm going to call her Dina. Okay. Hopefully, she's watching. So, she got very excited about an interview she had with a company that, that is on her list. So, you know what happens when we get called for these interviews, we have the interview and our hopes are so high. We're human. Okay. I don't care what people say. It is exciting, right? And at the same time, the exciting and the hope can also kind of be a bit, like it can be a roller coaster. So this is what's happened. I had a nice 30-minute conversation with a company that I'm really excited about. At the end, almost at the end, right, the recruiter said he thinks I'm a really good fit, but they have internal, I've written it, I've shortened it because her question was very long and there's a character limit. But he said, you're a really good fit, but we have a strong internal candidate as well. So I would want you to manage your expectations. That's what he said. And at the same time, he also asked her for her like salary expectations as well as joining date. So she's like, what the heck is going on, right? Okay, Dina. First of all, um, he was managing your expectations because there is a possibility there is a strong internal candidate, but he may like you for something in the future, which is why he wants to know what your notice period is like and what your salary expectations are like so that there is a match, so that in the future when the time comes, they don't have to start from scratch. They have you in the database. That is one possibility. We don't know for sure. We can't mind read, right? I don't know what he was thinking. I wasn't there. And even if I was there, I'm not a mind reader. The second possibility could be that, this is just his style, right? He's a bit conservative and he doesn't like to give unnecessarily like high hopes to people. Um, your question is, I think this is less about this is like, what was he thinking? What is this? This is more about what should you do? Okay. If I were you, I would do two things and I would do them in tandem. I would do them simultaneously. The first thing is I would reach out to him if it's been a couple of days. I would just reach out to him. Hey, listen, thank you so much. I really enjoyed our conversation, and be very specific why you enjoyed the conversation, which elements you took away, and end it strong with, I think I'm a really good fit. So when the time comes, I look forward. I welcome the opportunity, right? And if you want to get more like detailed on it, check out. I have an ebook on my website. Go to superchargeyourself.com. That'll have a template that'll help you. But you don't have to get the ebook. Just follow what I'm saying, and I think you should be good. If you want to get more like detailed templates, etc., it's there for you. The second thing I would do simultaneously, if I were you, is I would not keep waiting. Hope is not a strategy. And I know that sounds a bit like heartbreaking because it looked like it was a really good meeting. And sometimes, interviews are not that common. They can be quite rare in a tough economic environment. So I get that. Um, I would keep looking at other opportunities. I would talk to people, get, introductions, all of that stuff. You don't want to waste time. You don't want to go in a very linear fashion, like, sequential, first this, then this, then this. It doesn't help you, especially if you're in a hurry. And most of us who are looking for jobs, we are in a bit of a hurry. Nobody I know says I'm going to take my own sweet time and I'm going to wait out for 6 months unless they have a financial cushion in place. Right? So hopefully this helps you get into the mind of the person. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions from that. I'm going to be live for about 20 minutes today. Um, Hi, Aishwarya. How do you get a salary rebase? I don't know what that means. If you have joined at a lower salary as a new grad, right? Yeah. So how do you basically asking how you negotiate? You have to kind of show that the work that you do actually is at the level of a higher salary. And Aishwarya, I've got all these salary negotiation videos on my YouTube channel. A lot of them are relevant to internal negotiation as well, whether you're negotiating internally or externally. It's all about showing how you actually deserve more and give them some proof, show them it's a business case, right? It's possible. Timing matters as well. So if you know that the company is doing well and it's had good financial earnings, so a lot of that. And you can say that the historical reasons I'm at this level, and a good time for something like this is now, which is performance appraisals, etc. So yeah. All right. Hi, Kapil. Could you just kind of clarify your question? I'm not quite sure. How do you improve the resume as I'm working in the same position from the start of my career? Okay. So you got to keep it updated. It's not about improving it, it's about keeping it updated with all your current positions, skills, experiences, accomplishments, s- qualifications, all of those. You just have to make sure you keep updating it. My preference is to do this once a quarter. In reality, I've never done it once a quarter, but I tell my clients to do it because when achievement comes and you don't remember it 3 days, 1 year later, or maybe 3 days later. So definitely make a put it in your calendar so you remember it. Hi Praneeth, my current organization. Cheers. Sorry, not to your organization, to you. As a 3 month, I get this question so much, particularly from India, because please remember also that we have a 3 month negotiation in 3 month notice period in many countries in Europe as well. They have a 3 month notice, and I have given a 1 month notice. They're not ready to wait. You got to negotiate, Praneeth. I've got this question hundreds of times. You've got to negotiate. It's in their interest, right? If you're not interested, you want to leave. It's not in their interest to keep you. However, if they don't have a replacement for you, they don't want the position suddenly like they don't want to. Nobody wants to be left high and dry, right? And also be careful of the new organization that doesn't want to wait. Does the new organization also have a 3 month notice period? Because this is complete hypocrisy and double standards. If the new organization has a 3 month notice period, but they don't want to wait for you, be careful of that. I would watch out. Hmm. I can't tell you what to do. This is a very personal choice, but you can negotiate. And if they say no, then you either stay or you leave. You leave with a bad taste in your mouth. You burn bridges. Not ideal. All right. Good luck. Hi, Jane. Thank you. Not sure what you're applauding, but I'm taking it. I'm taking it. Hi, Neha. For projects in the US, the recruiters normally offer hourly rate or even salary before you submit your resume and make you sign that you agree. Hmm. That's a bit slimy. I'm sorry. It's a strong word. I'm going to say what it is. It just sounds like there is no scope for negotiation. Say, listen, I this is something I would like to not sign on yet. You can say that, Neha. I need to know more information about the position. I need to know more about what it entails and the skills required. It's kind of like strong arming you, to do something you don't want to do, so that later, if you try to negotiate, they'll say no, but you already signed. I don't know. I don't get a good feeling about it, Neha. You wanted a perspective. I've given you a perspective. Yeah. No, I don't love it. Hi, Tashan. How are you doing? If job responsibilities between an intermediate and a senior are the same, exactly the same, should they be paid equally? The word should is it's such a troublesome word, Tashan. I, on paper, yeah. Sure. On paper, yes. What is the reality, Tashan? The reality is there is something called a legacy. There's legacy employees. There's people who've been there forever and they are not interested in moving upwards. They're great people. They're soldiers. The company needs them. They're the heart of the operation. Um, but if you've been there 20 years, 30 years, and you're doing exactly the same thing as an external hire, sure. But you see, there is one thing which is position and there's one thing which is incumbent. Okay, incumbents are people. Position is very black and white. So if the position is very black and white, then it's in the ideal world. Do you know what I mean? It should be according to the position and the grading of the position. The reality we live in is not like positions are occupied by robot incumbents. Positions are occupied by people, and people are complicated with history, with background, with legacies from the past. So that's how it is. Yeah, yeah. I hope this helps. Neha says follow up. You sometimes have to agree on the salary to get the interview. Yeah. Sometimes you have to agree to the salary just to get to the interview. You can just put a range, or you can say negotiable. I wouldn't agree on a salary before an interview. I'm sorry, Neha. This sounds like a very weird practice. I mean, honestly, You have to be careful, because I understand that when you don't have a job and you want to say yes to anything and everything, I know that, because we have to put food on the table for our family. I totally get that. You've got to also understand what is worse if you don't do your homework right now. What is worse, joining them at any price because you want to get a job and then realizing 3 months later, holy heck, this is a nightmare, I don't want to be here. It's really, really important that you also understand there is a little bit of power that you have inside of your candidature as well. Gone are the days where companies would just act like monopolies. And I know this is cultural as well, and I know this can change within countries and within cities. But honestly, people are realizing all over the world that good skills, this has been going on before COVID. Good talent, good skills are hard to find. If you talk to HR people, they will be talking about something called the war of on talent. Like, they really, there is a war, like there's blood. People are not getting good people. You've got to understand you bring in a good amount of value. I'm not going to tell you what to do. If you want to go ahead and say yes to the salary, then do it. Listen, you need to work. I get it. There's no judgment here. I just making sure you've got your eyes are wide open. All right. Hey Trimurti, I have a total of 16 I'm sorry, 11 years experience. Is it worth joining Ernst and Young? Hey, listen, I don't know, buddy. This is a very specific question. It's not something I can answer. HCL Technologies, you got to do your homework and you got to find out from friends, acquaintances, people who you are would consider trusted advisor, recruiter, external recruiters as well. And also check out Glassdoor for the exact amounts. That'll give you an idea. Check out online. I can't tell you if this is a good or bad salary. Honestly, this not the best question to be asking me, but I'm glad you're thinking about it. I'm glad you're thinking if it's a good salary or not. You've also got to see how does it like work with where you're going, right? And your future. And usually a salary increase means more responsibilities, more challenges. Ideally, that should be the case. Okay, I'm gonna speed up because it's already 20 minutes and I'm seeing lots of questions. All right, good. Hi, Dikshit. If I resign by myself, as I got an offer from another organization and I also got released from the project, then my current HR says, you know what? I can release you early since you resign. I can't allocate project for you. Is HR bound to give you 3 months salary if I served 1 month? No. Oh gosh, this is something quite specific in terms of labor employment. But according to me, right, you got to check your contract, Dikshit. According to me, a notice period is both ways. It's both ways. So good luck with that. You got released. It sounds a bit spiteful as well. Not, sometimes people's true colors come out. Oh, you've already resigned, so I'm going to release you early. That may not be a bad thing, but you've got to weigh all your options. But you've also got to see what did you sign when you signed the contract. The employment contract when you were hired, the offer letter. They have clauses in there. And I don't want to get into like advising on employment law because I'm definitely not qualified to do that. At the salary negotiation, hi Pratik, how do you identify if there is a competitor? I think that's what you're saying. Don't know. Don't know. Honestly, not a big concern for you. Focus on what you control, focus on what you bring to the table. All right, good, fantastic. Um, sorry, couple, you'll have to retype. I'm not following the word wilp. I think there's probably a typo error. Just what are your thoughts on title equivalence? Yeah, I saw this question. So I got this question earlier. Um, this is a question I got from someone yesterday, I think a couple of days ago, where you have a title which is internal and nobody really understands what it means outside. There are two reasons it could be: the internal nomenclature. The second reason, I think this is the reason that I was asked, is because the person who reached out to me, I think they were doing it. Can you please, sorry, put this in the comments? I don't quite remember. There was a rather, for me, a little shady reason why the title had been different, maybe to give a lower salary or whatever. As far as title equivalent is concerned, it's not a big deal. It's something I've done before. It's not dishonest. It's not that I was working as an HR assistant and I'm suddenly the chief HR officer, right? It's very clear that there is a certain title which is used internally, which makes little or no sense outside. So I'll give you an example. When I was at General Electric, I participated in the assessment center to move to the next level. And the next level, basically, they called you a management trainee, which in the outside world is a team leader. But when I was applying to roles outside GE, because we moved to South America, I called it team leader. Okay. And another example is I got hired in HR in a company in Belgium, and they had a challenger program. They had a challenger program for like a CEO challenger, HR challenger, strategy challenger, whatever. They It sounded amazing. It was basically a leadership development program, but nobody understands what the heck a challenger program is. So I changed that to HR business partner or whatever. It has to make sense outside. And if you want to like cover your bases, you can always write in, in the resume or on LinkedIn, internally known as. That's okay. I don't think it's a big deal. Hopefully that helps you. Okay. Whew. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. All right. Hey, Ray. Am I saying that right? Ray, I received a job offer at, I don't know what is EOY. Is that Ernst and Young? I'm not sure. Never mind. I'm waiting the start date and final paperwork. I've now received a second offer from another company, nearly twice the salary. What do you suggest? Okay. How do you suggest I manage this? And is it burning a bridge? No, dude. You got to do what's best for you. Because if the company were in your place and they find someone suitable, they will do what's best for them. So you've got to feel selfish about it. Okay. Having said that, I see that you're watching me on YouTube. Okay. Check out a video I've done because I get this question so much. Whenever I receive a question hundreds of times, I'm like, okay, rather than answer it, I made a video on YouTube. Just check it out. It's got my thumbnail looking like this: offer A and offer B. Which one should I take? It's a good problem, first of all. Okay, let's call it what it is. It's a good problem to have. And I list out 8 criteria that you should keep in mind before you say yes. And money is one of them. It's not the only one. So good luck. Congratulations. Well done. All right. Hey, Vivek, I would like some tips on the background of the position in the past. Mostly, you get in a problem in joining. How do you advise to join a bad company or bad colleagues? Okay, okay, okay. That's a good question, Vivek. You've got to do a lot of homework with regards to the company in terms of your research. What are people saying on Glassdoor, LinkedIn, etc.? However, you will never know everything. You will always, you think you're going in with your eyes wide open, but there'll be some things you don't know till you join. Okay. However, there are some clues that can help you when you are interviewing, because you're face to face with them, right? Zoom or phone or face. Ideally, if you can insist on face to face, there's certain things you'll see. I wrote an article 3 years ago on LinkedIn on how to tell if the manager is right for you or not, because people always think that as a candidate, how do you know if the candidate is right? But we should also be interviewing our future managers in a way, right? If you want to know more about it, I have it on my LinkedIn. If you find difficult to find that article, just send me a message on my LinkedIn. Okay, just send me a message, or if you send me a connection request, please specify why you're sending me a connection request, and I'll share that with you. I think that'll really really help you. Okay, and by the way, I'm going to be talking about this next week with a friend of mine who's released a book called The Career Glow Up. And we're going to talk about how do you know if the company is toxic before you join them. If that's of interest, just follow me on LinkedIn. Follow me. I'll be sharing more on that. Her name is Jennifer Brick. Okay. Okay. Adi Doin, thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here and sharing your views. Amazing. Hey Sagar, I'm glad. Okay. I'm in the process of transitioning from research academia to pharma, and I have an offer from an ed tech company from an IT. However, they are not ready to pay the number which I have asked. I have another offer right now. Acronym, my minimum acceptable number. Listen, negotiation for me is less about convincing. I know that sounds weird. It's not about convincing someone to do something you don't want them to do. Negotiation, according to me, is asking the right questions and giving not a number that you've pulled out of thin air. You take it. It's really comes down to being very simple, but also work with everything. There's some give and take, right? There's some things that they can say, we can't give you this, but we can give you that. You really have two choices at this. Got to see, because you may not be 100% match for them, right? Makes sense. Makes sense. So the decision is up to you. I'm not going to take the facts in front of you, and you have two options. It comes down to very, very straight what your options are. Understand? End of year. So, but I was like, we're in January, so I wasn't sure what you meant. All right, you're welcome. Hey, Saurabh. Market has been down for a while. Market has been down. It comes and goes. And why am I saying this? So, this might be the time to look in the mirror and actually see what is happening. If you're not getting calls for interviews, not even an interview, right? Not even an email, there is a possibility that the resume is not doing the job it's supposed to. And if you're getting step courses as well. So check out all the free stuff I have on YouTube, which explains how do you supercharge your resume, how do you supercharge your interview skills. Start with the resume step by step, because it's going to be very overwhelming. Are you in the tech field? No, I'm not. Kapil. Hi, Elliot. How you doing? Happy New Year. If an offer is for a contract and you will learn new skills, negotiate, but take the offer. Update LinkedIn. Okay, you're sharing some advice. I'm sorry. I thought there was a question. Thank you for sharing that. If uh one, I'm not sure I follow, no idea how much. Thanks to your past advice, I did and I am. Thank you very much. Okay, awesome. Sorry, Elliot. Gotta not sure. Amazing, amazing. Lots of different questions today. We've covered quite a bit. We've talked about like investment banking. We talked about, we got into notice period, which is a very popular one. And yeah, so all right. So I shall be live with you at the same time next Friday with G, and we're going to be talking about strengths, strengths, and how to go about your strengths. So, all right, good. Okay, good luck. Sorry, hmm, not 100%. I say I'm not officially back to work. I'm back to work on Monday. Last question. Hey, Basav Kumar. I'm a contractor in company A, outsourcing me to company B. Company B, and consider it as the same as that of a switch, expecting a 30% hike. If they can pay you, sure, sure. Also, there's a little, it can get very troublesome and very tricky when you've been outsourced by a staffing company, right? Like company A, because they'll have agreements in place that their people are not poached. So they'll do everything in their power to keep you. And sometimes that means, if the company B has hired you from company A, that they have to pay a fine. So if they have to pay a fine, will they be willing to pay a 30% hike? Not sure. You got to read the room, and you will know if others have done this as well. And you'll see if this is a practice, because we have to be a bit reasonable as well. And it never hurts to ask, but be prepared that it may or may not happen. All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Have a brilliant start to the year. I hope it's been a brilliant start to the year, and I shall see you at the same time next Friday, right here on Supercharge Fridays. Bye. Have a good Friday and a good weekend.